Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Mining Insider. It is midsummer where I am and it is scorching hot. My daily temperature is running into the mid to upper 90s every day, and that's outside, so you can imagine the heat in here with all my miners. And you can see I've invested into some new ASICs, and those ASICs make a tremendous amount of heat, and it's actually overloading my system right now as far as trying to cool them off. So I was looking for new and creative ways to see if I can dissipate some of that heat and get rid of it. I've done everything from boxing in the room to make hot and cold aisles. I'm using octo miners to cool some of my hotter GPUs, but it's not doing it because I was looking the other day and my thermostat was 116 degrees. That's like an oven in here. And it's not healthy for my miners, and it's not very efficient either because the miners have to work harder, the fans work harder, and the hash rate is lower. So I was looking for a new solution to solve my heating issues. So I reached out over to the team at QuietCool, and they sent me a new QuietCool ES7000 fan. This is their largest energy saving fan. It's rated over 6,800 CFM on this fan. And I'm really excited about it, but can it do the trick? Can it handle the extra load of these high power ASICs, creating this tremendous flow of heat? So let's unbox it together and let's test it out. Ta-da! This box is huge. I feel pretty confident that this is going to take care of my cooling issues, especially since I've expanded my mining farm now to include a lot of ASICs, everything from Litecoin and Bitcoin miners, and they make an incredible amount of heat. It's like boiling the sun. But this new ES7000 unit is very powerful and very efficient. Let's open it up and take a look. Oh my gosh. Would you take a look at this? This is amazing. Let's unbox it. Okay, so we have this beautiful fan here in the middle, and they've included the RF wireless kit. So this will let me put it on high or low or even set the time with it without doing any wiring. It's really well packaged. Wow, there's so much in here. Beginning with the fan. Is that a fan or what? Let's put this down. And then this, I think I'm gonna flip the box to get it out. It's a slinky. It walks downstairs, alone in repairs, and makes a slinky sound. I just finished unboxing and laying all the individual components out so you can see. This is a complete system. It's not a simple box fan that just gets mounted into the attic. This unit is a very elegant solution. There's three major components. You have your damper and grill, you have your insulated duct, and then you have your fan. So let me just refer to the box. The damper gets mounted into your ceiling. That's this part right here. This would normally fit right between 16-inch centered studs. And then it has a very clean face grill. Also, these have doors. So when the fan is actually not on, the doors will close. When you're using the fan, they open to give it all that air. Next, we move on to the duct. The duct is fully insulated, and this insulation not only preserves keeping the heat inside of it, it also helps mitigate some of the sound. So you won't get a lot of the noise from the fan coming back down to the damper or in the room you're living in. Now we move on to the fan. This is probably the most important part of the whole cooling solution. And I've already gone ahead and installed the wireless kit. The wireless kit gives me a wireless remote control. So all I have to do now is just plug this fan in, and I'll be able to control it on or off or set the duration of how long it runs right from the remote control. Some other things I love about this fan is that it's a brushless motor and it uses ECM technology. So it's extremely efficient. When I want to run it at full speed, this fan is rated at about 6,800 CFM. However, most of the time I'm going to be using it in low power mode. This fan is rated at 4,300 CFM at only about 165 watts. Maybe there's some hot days or some blistering heat wave that comes in. I have the ability at least to power this unit up higher. We've talked enough about this. Can't wait to get it installed. Before I do, let's do a quick test to see how efficient it is. Let me get my meter out. I'm a crypto miner, so you know I have watt meters. With this all connected, we're plugging this in. Standard 120 volt electricity. And you can see the wattage is showing about 1 watt right now. And let's turn this on low. I set this on low power and I'm going to turn it on. Very, very impressive. Considering this is supposed to be rated over 4,300 CFM. And yes, it's only puddling about 157, 161 watts. That's fantastic. And it's definitely a lot of airflow. And if you can hear me over the microphone, you know it's quiet, especially considering this would be in the attic. Now is the moment. Let's see if I need to ratchet it up. If my miners are really running hot, and if I need to go to high mode, what would that sound like? So I can change it right here over to high power. It's a computer controlled fan, so you're gonna hear, wow, that's a lot of power coming up. It's blowing me away, actually. It's knocking panels down in my studio, but you see the wattage is considerably lower at about 625, 635. That was extremely impressive. I did not expect it to push that powerful and to be well under its threshold for the wattage consumption. Let me go cut out the hole for the damper plate and let me start installing it. Okay, so just finished cutting out my hole in my ceiling and I used my oscillating saw. I've already gone ahead and done the cleanup. I actually had to take all the miners out of my mining farm because it creates a lot of dust. And using a tool like this is really, really handy. A trick that I've learned too is once I make my mark, I actually cut it from the top down and I did some vacuuming up top. So when I take it out, it wasn't a ton of dust in here. I want to make sure you have a clean work area. Let me just get these tools down and we're going to do a quick dry fit of the damper. Make sure everything fits good. It looks perfect. Let me take this down for now. I know my opening is perfect. Let me move it to the side because I'm gonna have to put the fan up and I'm gonna have to put the big ducting up there. One of my favorite features I like that they designed into this fan is, so I'm gonna be able to pass the fan up through that same opening. Oh, it's getting hot in here, so let's try to get this fan up. All right, learned a trick on YouTube. They actually put straps around it so it compresses it. And this too, I'll be able to put right up through that same opening. Now that's it. I can actually start mounting my damper. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna grab a screw. Let me screw this in. Now that the damper is installed, I'm gonna go upstairs and finish installing the rest of this. I'm up in my attic, preparing to install my new QuietCool fan. Before I do, let me give you an overview of my attic. My attic is above my garage and it has a gable roof, which is like a triangle shape. You can see there's a vent at the very end, and it's a gable vent, but it still has limited airflow. So I actually went to the soffits on the side of the roof, and I cut holes to put large vents in there. And this will hopefully allow a lot higher airflow through it. Here's one of the vent panels, and I picked it up at a local home improvement store. The other thing I had to do is I had to get some additional lumber, because I had to build some structure that'll be able to support it. In my case, I used some decking I had around, some lumber of 2x6s and 2x4s across the top. And that's what's going to support my QuietCool. Every attic is different, and make sure you always follow your building codes and be safe. Let me start installing my QuietCool, beginning by attaching the flexible duct to the damper. I'm going to put the flexible duct straight up and down on top of the damper. This way I can easily reposition or even rotate it if I needed to. Now I'm ready to mount the fan. I was working by myself, so I needed a clever way to hold the fan up while I mounted it. So I figured by using a ratcheting strap was the perfect trick. I could hold the fan up temporarily, just throw a strap over the beam and the fan, and then I could just ratchet it right up into place. I just grabbed my screw gun and I put a few screws in each side so it was firmly attached. Now I'm ready to attach the flexible duct to the fan. Last step is for me to use a mesh strap to lift up the flexible duct so it's in a better position. This should improve the airflow. Now comes the fun part. I get to test it out. So I've already plugged the fan in and I'm going to start it on low power mode. I can see the ECM is doing a slow start on the fan and it's ramping up really quick. Oh my gosh, that's pushing a lot of air power out now. I wasn't expecting this much, especially at low power. On the back side of the unit, I could see a little bit of vibration in the ducting, and that's from the massive amount of airflow that's getting piped through here, blown by that fan. When you look at this unit as a whole, it's really impressive, the engineering and thought that goes into it. I'm back downstairs in my crypto mining garage. Let me turn the fan on slowly. I want to test out and make sure that damper doors are opening properly. They're opening fine, so I should be all set. Let me finish the installation by mounting the grill. Beginning with the grill frame, grab my screw gun, put a few screws in around it. Get the rest of the screws put in place. Last but not least, I'm going to just pop this grill in. We are done. Mission accomplished. With this new fan installed, I stayed up late last night getting all my miners set up and running. And it's a pretty hot day already. It's already 92 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's just from the air being pulled in from under the garage door. That's where I get all my ventilation. Behind all these panels is my miners in the mining farm. And it's normally scorching hot in here. With all these miners, it'd easily be over 110 degrees at this point. Actually, now I have even more miners on. I have some more GPUs mining Nexa. But I have all my Bitcoin miners, Dogecoin, Litecoin. You can see some JASMINERs, IPOLLOs, and I even have a couple of the gold shells on. So between the GPUs and ASICs, it's a lot of power. But look, it's only 98 degrees. Nice. This is a huge breakthrough for me. Never was I able to run so many miners in this environment. So cool. And it's thanks to this new ES7000 fan. This fan is extremely powerful and efficient. And if I knew it was this good, I would have gotten one earlier. Here's some of the specs if you're interested. I'll be putting a link down below. Who would have thought I'd have so much cooling power right in the palm of my hand? That about wraps it up for today, and I am really impressed with this QuietCool fan. I was actually able to lower my mining farm temperature overall about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is fantastic. And that's even with some additional miners on. So definitely big thumbs up. Thank you so much again, QuietCool. I had to do a little bit of extra work to make sure I get that extra capacity of airflow. So doing a little bit of extra hard work so I can get some great vents in there definitely made the difference too. But now with this new high-powered fan, I can run it very optimal, getting 4300 CFM using only about 160 watts. And on those days that it's boiling hot, I can crank it up and hopefully keep all my miners super cool. So I really appreciate you watching. And if you enjoy my videos, please remember to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Till next time, stay safe. I'll see you on the next video.